I'm good, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Break the ice. Why are we drinking champagne?
Well, I grew up in Norfolk, a tiny little town, and my father was a milkman and my mother was a waitress. My brother was a farmer, and we had quite a, I wouldn't say poor upbringing, but we had enough to get by. And I thought to myself, one day, this is before my notion of photography and how to get money, I thought one day I will have money. Yeah. And the day I have money, I will drink champagne. And so literally, I'd say for the last 30 years, on every occasion, social or not, I can't drink champagne.
Oh, I love that. I love that story. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for breaking the ice with us.
My pleasure.
What age did you discover your passion for photography and how did you go about pursuing it?
Right, now let's go back to 1980. I was coming up to my 10th birthday and my parents took me to Norwich, which is our major city, and it was the first time they'd ever let me go to the cinema by myself.
Okay.
Because up until then, Dad or Mum would go with me, or my brother, and it was a James Bond movie. Mm-hmm. It was For Your Eyes Only.
Oof, good one.
And sitting there in the cinema, seeing all these gadgets, all the gadgets, and I love gadgets and spy stuff, and that was embedded in my mind. About 2 weeks later, there's a TV program called In at the Deep End, and every week this reporter, Chris Searle, done a new profession. This specific week he's a photographer, complete by accident, and his job was to shadow Mike Maloney, and he was the chief photographer for the Mirror newspapers. And watching this program, there's this one scene where Mike Maloney opened his kit. It was like a spy bag. It was all his cameras and gadgets, and that was, that excitement of gadgets. That's what hooked me in, not the art aspect, not being creative. It was actually the equipment hooked me in. Mm-hmm. I then fell in love with actors, and then I thought, how could I get into that field of meeting my heroes without being an actor? And then I thought, well, I like photography. Is there a way of doing photography and blending that with film and meeting famous people? And back then, if you want to shoot a famous person, it was one phone call. Now, even a D-lister has 5 publicists and managers and agents. Back then they didn't. If you wanted a famous person, you could literally pick up a phone, speak to their direct contact and arrange something.
Speaking of getting hold of the right people, tell us a little bit about your book Degrees and the 6 degrees of separation and how you use that to build a career and meet the people that you've been wanting to meet.
Yeah, I mean, Degrees was my magnum opus. That was the thing that launched me. What I did was, I did my college when I was 18, 19, and I left college knowing I wanted to do celebrity because of my meeting with Stephen Fry, and he put me on that track. But I knew I wanted to do famous people of some ilk and some style. So my only inkling was to do magazine covers. After a number of years, I'd done lots of lovely people, but nothing substantial. So I thought one day, what can I do that I can do a whole bulk of people, and it won't just be a month's life on a shelf. There'll be something, So I thought a book of some kind. So I thought, okay, how about I do a book of celebrities? So then one day I went to my local library, and there's a book called the Spotlight Directory that lists every actor in equity and has their contact number and everything. So I literally got all the directories in my library and sat down for about 4 hours going through Spotlight, trying to find actors I want to photograph and jotting down, the agents' numbers. So I've got 300 famous actors that I really want to photograph. Sent off 300 handwritten letters, because back then I had no computer. So I handwrote all these actors, 6 months later, there was not one answer. No one bothered answering me at all. And then there's a phone call out of the blue, and it was a guy called Joss Ackland. He'd just done the movie Lethal Weapon, where he was the baddie. Joss phoned me up one day, and said, I got your letter, hate being photographed, but if you photograph my son's wedding, I will give you half an hour to do a portrait.
Wow.
So I thought, I've got nothing to lose. And that's great. So I went down, begrudgingly shot the son's wedding, because I hate that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then I got his portrait. He was drunk. So I got this great portrait it's a wonderful portrait of Joss. And the next day over breakfast, he said, okay, so how is this book going? I said, it's not, you're the only person. But at that time, you had the Kevin Bacon, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game. So we said, well, why don't we do who's best friend of, or who do you admire? And that's how, literally over the breakfast, that's how it started. He'd just done a movie with Greta Scacchi called White Mischief. He said, I'm good friends with Greta. He got his phone and phoned her up. So they've got this guy here, this photographer. Would he give him an hour? She said yes. I shot all the UK's market actors, then got on to America, and then went around all America for 9 years doing all these portraits. And then someone asked me one day, how will this book end? Because if one person suggests a friend, there isn't, and so I said to myself, if anyone suggests Kevin Bacon, that will be the reason. And no one did.
Oh my
So I kept shooting and shooting, and then one day I shot Christian Slater, and we got on great, and I was about suggesting someone. I said, you don't know Kevin Bacon, do you? He said, yes, I do. I said, well, can you? And that was it. And so he got Kevin.
And that's what.
And then shot Kevin, and then shot Kevin for the cover of the book.
I just want to go back to your Stephen Fry moment, because that was a moment that changed your life, or it was a eureka moment where you knew that this is what you wanted to pursue. So just tell us that story. How did it happen? Yeah, so it was the very first ever BTEC course. There was never a BTEC before, so in 1989 I'd done the first ever BTEC, and it was in photography. And Stephen Fry came to my college to give an AIDS awareness talk and hand out some diplomas. So I knew the room he'd be in for his Q&A, and so the room next door was empty. It was in the arts block, so I knew it's always empty. I put up a background and a light and stuff. Went to his Q&A and listened to everyone asking very banal questions about Blackadder and stuff. And at the very end, I put my hand up. I said, yes, boy at the back. I said, Mr. Fry, can I take a picture of you next door, please? And he sort of rolled his eyes and said, oh, will you be quick? I said, yes, I promise to be quick. So he went next door. He gave me 90 seconds. I took 10 photographs, changed my life. That moment in time, that spark in my head, that was at the time. If you think back to 1991, we didn't have cable TV or Sky or anything. We had 4 TV channels. That was it, 4 channels. And Stephen was on 3 prime time programs every week. He was doing Blackadder, Jeeves and Wooster, a bit of Fry and Laurie. He was getting 25 million viewers for every show. He's like a megastar at the time. And having this guy ask about for me in front of my camera for 10 shots, it was like this huge power trip. It was amazing. And he hated the shoot. I sent him the shots. He phoned me up and said, there's one shot I absolutely love. He said, I hate my picture, but this one I love. Can you do me a copy? And I thought, great. So I done him a 10 by 8, sent it to him, and he put it on his piano, That Sunday, his mate Kenneth Branagh came over for Sunday lunch. Said, Stephen, nice picture. Who took that? He said, well, this student, local college. Oh my goodness.
Said, what's his number? And so Stephen gave Kenneth Branagh my number, and Kenneth phoned me and said, Andy, I've seen this picture of Stephen. Can you do me and my wife Emma Thompson?
Oh.
I said, yeah. And then I shot them. And at the photo shoot, their next door neighbour, Derek Jacobi, came over. And what's happening? And Ken said, Gotts is doing a photo shoot. And Derek said, I did a headshot. And so Derek sat down there. He said, oh, this is great. Do you know Bob Hoskins? I said, yes. He said, well, I'm now seeing him for lunch. Do you want me to see if we can arrange? And then the next day, I shot Bob, just in a movie with Helen Bonham Carter. And literally, that's how, and for literally the first 9 years of my career, was one person suggesting a friend, and that's how Degrees was formed.
I read that your subjects are never retouched after the shutter release has been done. So what is it, first of all, tell me about that, but secondly, what is it about capturing someone's true essence that inspires you?
I think David Bailey gave the quote once that Photoshop can make a good photographer bad and a bad photographer good. I've seen really good photographers like Rankin, for example, and his work is really overtouched, almost like Annie Leibovitz. If you look at her work, is her portraits are flawless portraits, beautiful. They're works of art, but I want mine to be more of what the person actually is. So for example, you can get one of my books and flick through to the date on the picture and know on that exact date in history, that's how that face was. My shots are done of Scarlett Johansson. That specific day, she had an outbreak of acne that day. Her forehead is very spotty. And I said to her, before the shoot, I said, you do realise I'm not going to... And she said, good. She said, I want young girls to know I am infallible. I know so many people who want true pictures. So I try to give, through my art, an honest view of this is how the person looks, unedited apart from colour. I hate colour. I hate colour in pictures. I like to mute down my colours, really mute them down, or make them black and white. So I use Photoshop or any editing software to mute colours. That is the only thing I do. I like it if they've got spots. I like it if the hair's out of place because it shows reality. It shows truth in an image, and no one else does it. And that's the thing. I mean, I am the only person who does my career that does not edit, and that's why I love it.
Yeah. So you've got a very strong philosophy, which we've already spoken about, with regards to hard work makes you a success.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for this generation who want success instantly?
It's not going to happen. That's the key. I mean, people want it. People want to be successful. They want to be known, and that's the thing. A lot of people want probably not to be a famous photographer or a photographer. They want to be famous. That's the wrong thing. You want to be able to create a piece of art that you can sit at home with yourself and you love. It doesn't matter what a critic thinks or the public thinks. You need to do what you find great. And I get it all the time, weekly. How do I become you? And it's becoming me is easy. You can be me. It'll take 29 years, but you can be me. That's the secret. Be in it for the long game. And I'll just give you some figures here. I have done 3 university courses. Out of all my college university courses, I'm the only one still doing photography, because everyone else found the rejection, the knockbacks too hard. And that's the thing. If you want to be a celebrity photographer, you need skin as thick as a rhino. You'll get so many no's. You got so many knockbacks. The first 3 years of my career was no, because no one cared. Because I didn't do famous people, I wasn't a known bit, and it was hard work. It was pushing, and then one day someone gave me a yes, and that yes opened the door. If you're going to go in and worry about a rejection or a no, again, it's the wrong career. You need a thick skin, determination, and self-belief. And not to get too deep, but Confucius even had a fantastic little parable where he said, don't be proud of congratulating you for never falling. Be proud of yourself of standing up each time you fall.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, you're going to get knocked back, but if you can get up and go forward, even the Confucius of the modern day, Rocky Balboa. Even Rocky said in one of the Rocky movies, it's not how hard you can get hit, it's how hard you can get up after you've been hit. And that's true. If you can get up and go forward, that's how you will make the best you can be. By believing in yourself. Everyone in the world can think you're wrong. If you believe in yourself, and if you keep going forward, you will make it. It's self-belief. The whole thing, life, is self-belief.
I feel like you're talking to me there. If you could break the ice, meaning have a drink with anyone, past or present, who would it be and why?
I'm asked a lot, who do I wish I'd have photographed? No one alive, but I think anyone who's still alive, I've got a chance of photographing.
Oh, true. That's a good point, actually.
You know, but as long as they're still breathing, I've still got a chance.
Yeah.
I think people who have a story they want to tell, I want to hear. And actually thinking about it now, if I was to sit down now with someone I've not photographed today for a drink, probably be DiCaprio.
Ah.
But I know Kate Winslet so well. I know lots of people who know him so well. I know his personal life is a mystery. I think if I was to strip back, what makes Leo Leo? You know, take away the
What
great.
makes him, tick.
Take away the acting.
Yeah.
Take away all the obvious things. We kind of know bits about the environment, but I think if we can know what makes Leo tick, that'd be a good champagne afternoon. I think.
Champagne afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well, thank you so much for spending the afternoon with us drinking champagne.
Thank you.
I feel so inspired, and I feel like you've got an incredible story, so thank you very much for taking the time to share it with us.
I think we've all got stories. It's just finding a way of telling them.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Andy.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more inspirational videos just like this, then don't forget to subscribe, which you can do by clicking right over here. Also, leave us a comment in the section below and tell us who you guys would like us to break the ice with next.